Hi friends, I just wanted to come on and do a short little video because quite a few of you missed the teen number problem on our morning message from Friday. So I just wanted to do a short video to kind of explain it a little bit better because I want to make sure you have a good understanding of what to do, okay? So this will just be a short little quick video that you just need to watch, okay? If you have your whiteboard, you could probably do the problem with me if you wanted. So I want us to look at this number right here. We don't know how many this is, and that's okay. But what we have to try to figure out is how many it is. We can look at it and we know we have one full 10 frame. When you have one full 10 frame, how many do you have? One full 10 frame means that you have 10. If I was to take all these X's out and move them over here, I would have 10. So one full 10 frame tells me that I have 10. Now down here it says tens. Do I have 10 10 frames? No. And so a lot of you are putting 10 here. So it means you have 10 tens. That means you would have a 10 frame, 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 all the way to 10. And is that what you have? No. How many 10 frames do you have that are all the way full? You have one. So you have one set of 10. You have one set of 10. So when you do these kind of problems on the tens line, you would need to write a 1 because you have one full 10 frame where you have 10 X's. And each time you get 10 X's, then you can move it up. So if you had 10 X's and 10 X's, you could write a 2 here. But you only have 10 X's in that 10 frame. So you can only write a 1. Should you ever write a 10 here? Well, you could write a 10 there if you had 10 10 frames. But you only have one, so you're going to write a 1. You have one full 10 frame. And then you have how many extra ones? 1, 2, 3. Because those 3 right there, do they make a whole 10 frame? No. They only make 1, 2, 3. So then you have 3. So then you have 1 tens and 3 ones. You have one full 10 frame and 3 extra ones. So that would look like, and I think you had to do an addition problem with it, you would have to write a 10. This one here would show me that I have 10, right? That 1 shows us that we have 10. This 1 shows us that we have 10. Sorry if I got caught. So this 1 here shows us that we have 10. And then to make it an addition problem, you would go plus 3 equals, how many are all together? 13. Remember that 1 shows us that we have one full 10 frame, or that we have 10. So that's where we got the 10. But when it's asking how many 10s do you have and how many 1s do you have one full 10 frame. So let's do one more. Let's look at it here. I can look at it and I might not know what the number is, and that's okay, but I'm going to break it apart. How many 10s do I have? Remember, this 10 frame's all the way full, so that means I have 10, but when it's asking me how many 10s, it's asking me how many full groups of 10, how many full 10 frames. How many full 10 frames do I have? 1. I have one full 10 frame, and then it asks me how many ones, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have 5 extra ones. So I have 5 ones, and I have one group of 10. Did I write a 10 here? No, because if I wrote a 10 here, that would mean that I had 10 whole 10 frames, and I don't have 10 whole 10 frames. So now what you're going to write is, as an addition problem, it would look like this. I see that I have a 110. I know the 110 shows me that I have 10. And I know that the ones show me I have 5. So 10 plus 5 is 15. So right here is the total number that you have is 15. I know it's a little hard without all of our 10 frames and our blocks to do this, but I thought that this was a pretty good explanation and how I would have done it in small groups with you during math. So just remember that when you're doing addition, the addition problem, that this 10 asks you how many full 10 frames. So if you had 2 full 10 frames, you would actually have to put a 20 here, right? And a 2 would have to be here, but let's not worry about that yet. Let's just look here. We know that the 10s means 1 full 10. How many full 10 frames do you have? We have 1 full 10 frame, so we put a 1 here. Unless you have 10 full 10 frames, you don't put a 10 here, okay? I hope that kind of made more sense for some of you who are having some tricky times with it, okay? Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.